So I was born in Canada, and my family brought me back to Hong Kong pretty soon after. So I've been in Hong Kong for 17 years, and then went back to Canada to do school. So the last time I came back was when I graduated from uni, and so I've been back for 6 years. So yeah, I've been here most of my life with a brief period away. So short answer is I've been back for 6 years. What brought me back to Hong Kong? I graduated uni in Canada 6 years ago, and I had a family emergency. Well, the expectation was that I come back anyway because my family's here. So, but yeah, like I came back because of a family emergency, and then yeah, stayed till now. Make sure my family's okay, and then now I'm like, okay, I think they're good, so I can go and explore a bit more of what I want to do. My first impression of Hong Kong, I don't actually remember that much. I think the expectation I have of Hong Kong in general, as my mom would tell me, like everywhere else is slow. Hong Kong, everything is efficient and fast. Okay, so don't expect too much from other places because you know they just like they just have good quality of life. But here, you know, like everything is fast. So coming back here, because I was raised here, right? So I know, okay, what to expect. The shops are this far from each other. I can take this bus, right? So it's just kind of coming back to what I'm used to. Yeah, in Canada, everywhere is like a 30-minute walk, right? Here it's like, oh, 5 minutes, oh, like 15 minutes, it's so far. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was expecting, I guess. Massively. I think coming back here after having experienced life abroad, it made me question a lot of how Hong Konger am I, because so I was born in Canada, and even though I've grown up here, but I moved to Canada in my late teens, and that was also a formative time. So whenever people are like, "So where are you from?" I would call Canada my home as much as Hong Kong, even though I haven't lived there as much. But you know, so you have these two sides of yourself that are kind of competing with each other, and I think being back in Hong Kong, because people would see me as like, oh, you're like that Canadian girl, but I'm not fully that Canadian girl. Like I'm also here, and you know, I look like everybody else, so, but I don't feel like everybody else. And so, you know, people's expectations, like, oh, you look Chinese, then like you must speak Chinese very well. Oh, turns out you have a bit of an accent. Right? And it's very subtle, but you feel that, and then you kind of question, like, where do I fit in all of this? And just like the interests that I have, they're not the most conventional by Hong Kong standards, I would say. And so, yeah, I think the past 6 years is just constantly trying to find if this place is for me. Does this place accept me for who I am? Am I comfortable with who I am? And realizing that, oh, maybe not as much as I would like. And that's a bit sad, but it's still a good realization to have. Yeah. I would say my biggest triumph is to choose a career in the arts. Um, Obviously, your parents want you to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, and I don't like any of those. I never really thought about being a full-time actor. Like, I've always thought, okay, I will do that on the side regardless. The expectation is you find something full-time, stable, has benefits. And nobody told me that this is how you freelance, and it was a big, scary leap into the unknown. But I'm glad I tried it, and it still worked. Like, what? And so, I had some full-time things in between, but it was also in the arts, and I think just the fact that I'm still here doing that just blows my mind every day. You have to not let work consume you. Because everything here is so fast and efficient, and like you gotta do it now, and people text you on the weekends to be like, hey, this project, blah, blah, blah. And it has shown up on my skin, it's like, the stress and all that. And I realized, actually, I don't have to do everything right away. There is time, and I can afford to make time for myself. People may make it seem like you gotta do this now, or everything's gonna be falling down, but it won't. And I think having hustled here so much, I think there needs to be time for enjoyment, and I'd like to have more of that when I leave. Flying out in 1 week. Yeah, it's very exciting, and it feels different this time because when I left Hong Kong the last time to do school in Canada, obviously it's just me going, all my friends are here, my family is here, and I know I'll be back for the summer, but this time around, it's like, oh, I'm not coming back. I mean, I might visit, but I have all my stuff with me. I'm not leaving anything behind to be stored at my relative's place because they don't even have space. So I really have to pick and choose, okay, like what would I take with me, because this is everything I own. It's a permanent move, and it feels really weird because this is my home, but in a sense, like, I'm not ever gonna be back. Because I think overall, I as much as I appreciate this city, I don't think it's the best if you wanna experiment with ideas and do creative things. Because I don't know, people don't appreciate it as much, or I mean, there's not so much of a culture of like, oh, let's like see something new and be open to new ideas. I mean, there are people who do that, but it's like the broader public, like, if you go to New York or London, right? People are just like, oh, let's just go see something interesting. Art is it's a part of their weekend. Like, the average person can go and enjoy a concert. But here, people like to eat and maybe watch movies, which is like, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think, like with the thing that I want to do, I think elsewhere would be more suited to that. And so, I mean, it feels weird, like, wow, I'm really saying goodbye, but I can still come back to see my family, but I'm really not going to be doing that very much. I don't know how to can't reconcile these two things. So I'm holding them both at the same time. I wish I knew that not everything you hear needs to be taken into account. Because people love to give you their opinion, their advice. And maybe they're wrong sometimes, because your life is unique and your own, and it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong, it just means you're doing something different. And I mean, I definitely felt a lot of pressure from my family or even like strangers I don't know to do certain things, and it just didn't really make sense to me, but I would go along anyway because, you know, oh, they're your elders, they should know better, like they must say this because they've lived through certain things. But in the end, I mean, in hindsight, I realized actually, like, you're on your own path, it's okay. It's not that they're wrong, you know, maybe it worked for them to follow a certain path, but if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean you're weird or you're broken. I mean, it sounds so heavy. I mean, not broken, but like, just because you want to pursue something different doesn't mean it's wrong. It doesn't mean other people are right for telling you not to do that. Yeah. So just know that your opinion, your how you feel, it's completely allowed. Yeah.
Done.
Oh, nice.
Do you mind if we redo that question because there's a car, a horn?
Yeah.
Beep.
Sorry. Where do I look? My biggest triumph would be.
It's hard. The cars just keep
cars.
going. Your answer. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Plan on leaving Hong Kong?
Yes, I do plan on leaving Hong Kong.
Done.